RB1 Set Review Part 3. It's time to look at Angoramon. Again, while Digimon had a whopping 16 cards to review over, this video will cover the 6 newest Angoramon cards along with a sample deck if you're trying to keep it purely in the Digivolution line. Without further ado, let's review this cutie before he goes through a growth spurt. Bosamon returns as another green level 2 Digimon. Its inheritable is simple. Your turn while your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon in play. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Comparatively, I'd be more inclined to use the BT10 Bosamon for the fact that a lot of Angoramon's effects suspend Digimon. But how does RB1 direct Angoramon? Ultimately, I'll let the cards speak for themselves before I choose the best Bosamon moving forward into RB1. Angoramon, like Gamamon and Jellymon, can find a card with Angoramon in the text, and one Ruli Tsukiyono amongst 3 cards. Then you bottom deck the rest. All turns, if your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Very good, considering if they attack and only have one Digimon in play that meets the criteria for the extra buff. And remember, you can find even cards like Pion Dump. Unless there's a ruling I'm missing here, do let me know in the comments below. Symbareangoramon does the same thing as Beetle Gamamon and Tesla Jellymon, playing his respective tamer of Ruli Tsukiyono if there isn't one in play. And like Angoramon, has the same inheritable effect of another DP buff of 1000 DP. However, of all these Symbareangoramon variants available, BT13 is superior in that it does have jamming, but being able to play Ruli for free is also value. But OG BT10 gains you a memory when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended. Man, there are a lot of ways for this deck to go. With Lamortmon, this Digimon gains piercing for the turn when you Digivolve. Then if you have Angoramon in the Digivolution sources, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Slowly, but surely, we are getting somewhere. This Digimon also gives an inheritable of when you delete one of your opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card of their security stack. Likewise, BT13 offers the same inheritable but a warp Digivolve as well. As for BT10, it's alright, but probably my bottom pick of the 3. And for the last level 6 Digimon, diarrbitmon is the level 6 of Angoramon. A Digimon with blocker, and a when Digivolving and when attacking effect that suspends one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. End of your turn, one of your Digimon in play with Angoramon in the text, including this one, can attack one of your opponent's Digimon. However, I cross-checked this card against Arrestramon's superior mode. If this card is suspended, it cannot attack an opponent's Digimon. But in a way, it's pseudo-blitz without having the keyword blitz. The when attacking effect that suspends a Digimon also prevents you from declaring attack, suspending the Digimon, and attacking that Digimon. In the Digimon trading card game, you have to choose a target before when attacking effects activate. Honestly, it's an okay boss monster, but it's nowhere near the power level of Gamamon and Jellymon, in my opinion. And for the final card for this set review, it's going to be Ruli Tsukiyono. A 3-cost tamer that when you Digivolve your Digimon into a green card with Beast, Animal, or 4 Sovereign in its traits, by suspending this tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. It's also end of your turn once per turn, lets you unsuspend one of your Digimon with Angoramon in its text. While powerful in many ways, I still think Ruli is missing something. But hey, at least there's a memory fixer in this tamer for memory reduction. The promo on the other hand might be run as a 1 of or 2 of, simply because it's only a DP buff, and there are other ways to get that. In the end, here is my proposal for a pure Angoramon deck. Keep in mind, while I do say pure, I'm not running either of the Bosamons mentioned. Though if I were to pick a Bosamon, BT9 still takes it because you have a Digimon with effects that suspend. Therefore, the plus 1000 DP gain is only conditional on you suspending something, versus your opponent having an unsuspended Digimon out. This means you get to control when the effect happens, more or less. That is, unless your opponent doesn't put a Digimon out for you to suspend. My choice for egg though, is Tanemon. With so many green tamers in the form of Ruli Tsukiyono and in this build, Mimi Tachikawa and also Taiga, drawing into your pieces is very helpful and crucial. For your level 3s, it's strictly Angoramon. BT10 for the additional draw if you happen to promote out and just slam down a tamer. 2 BT13s for blocker that could be played off Digimon. 3 promos for additional memory, and the 4 RB1s for searching. Note that the search will bottom deck potentially 9 total targets in this build, so do be careful how or when you play them. Level 4 wise, I kept it almost all symbareangoramons with their slew of effects, and a potential Tyrannomon that could be played off Digimon to again play more tamers. Note that despite what I said earlier, BT13 is actually my lowest copy cost, because memory reclaim via suspending effects can be huge. The only consideration I would like to make room for are hybrids, but functionally they aren't searchable and have a high risk of being bottom decked. Lamortmons all have the same inheritable and again, differentiate between disrupting or warp digivolving. Unfortunately, diarrbitmon is on his own right now being the sole copy, just like Amphimon. That being said, when I looked at the other options, there was Achillesmon and Abanuamon as other options. But with Digimon as potential builder of wider boards, of course. And finally, the memer of all memes, Quartzmon. Yeah, I decided to go this route too. Option card wise, there's only one option, and it's going to be that mandatory hidden potential discovered. But there aren't a lot of other defensive option cards, mainly because you can unsuspend your diarrbitmon at the end of your turn with RB1 ruli before attacking. For tamers, I went with 2 memory fixer Ruli Tsukiono, 4 memory reducing ones from RB1, 1 Mimi Tachikawa, and 2 Taiga for the memes. Granted, while none of these tamers can be played off symbareangoramons when digivolving effect, it's the potential for promoting extra bodies and reducing the cost and adding DP buffs that I'm looking for. But in general, Angoramon continues feeling the weakest of the 3 characters of Ghost Game. While this deck may be super jank right now, Angoramon continues to offer great cards for green decks that utilize tamers. Who knows? Maybe I'll start tinkering with a new green build to see where it takes me. But as always, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the last set review video of RB1. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.